Hello, this is Required Fields, and I hope that all of you enjoyed your summer. I enjoyed mine. It was a bit quiet, but enjoyable. And anyways, things have been going pretty good. I enjoyed some Crystal Pepsi. It was available for a limited time. I managed to buy up in bulk before the summer ended. But anyways, I ordered some new albums earlier this month. I got several albums that came in the mail this week, and I'm just going to do another new acquisitions thread here for you. This is Shaw, and this is their album Beware. I talked about Shaw earlier this year in one of my What's Been Spinning videos, and I reviewed their album Escape from Mind. That got reissued earlier this year, and over the summer they reissued Beware, which is their most popular album. They are a Russian thrash metal band, the first one to actually sing in English, and Beware is their most popular album. It actually had a music video made for the song Save the Human Race. They're very much in the Bay Area thrash mold, and also have perhaps a bit of overkill influence in there, but the Russian vocals make it a little more distinctive for North American audiences. And that's one of the albums that I bought recently. And this is Epitaph, and this is their album Seeming Salvation. Epitaph is a Swedish death metal band who released this album, Seeming Salvation, back in 1992. It was their only album, and they disbanded afterward. And being from Sweden, they are pretty much in a vein of other Swedish death metal groups like Entombed and Dismember. It's their only album, and it's too bad because they have a really enjoyable sound here. I really dig this album, and my favorite tracks include Gravity, Epitaph, and Self-Inflicted. Purgation from Within is another really good track, but a one and done band, and it's a bit unfortunate because it would have been really nice to see what direction they would have taken on later albums, but they did leave us with one really enjoyable album in Seeming Salvation. This is Despair, and this is Beyond All Reason. Despair is a German thrash metal band, they are more along the lines of the more melodic Bay Area thrash sound than they are of bands like Testament and Forbidden, and they are of German thrash bands like Creator and Destruction. And this is their third and final album. It's a very melodic thrash metal album, and they disbanded. It was released in 1992, and they disbanded the following year. And this is their third album, and it's also a very enjoyable album. My favorite track on it is the closing track, an instrumental called Crossed in Sorrow, which has some great guitar work on it. Very solid and enjoyable album. Definitely worth checking out if you like the more melodic side of thrash metal. And next up is a double dose or triple dose, depending upon how you look at it, of the death metal band Defeated Sanity. Their 2010 album Chapters of Repugnance, and then their newest release, which came out a couple months back, which is basically considered 2 EPs compiled to make one full length: Disposal of the Dead and Armada. Now, Defeated Sanity are a German death metal band who have the distinction of being the very first death metal band ever to have a parent and child playing the same band. The original guitarist, Wolfgang Teskey, actually the drummer is his son, Lyle Gruber. I'm not sure how I say if I'm saying the first name right. The original guitar player and the drummer when the band first formed were father and son, and they released their first album in 2004, titled Prelude to Tragedy, and then Wolfgang Teskey had to leave after the second album, which was called Palms of the Moribund, and He ended up dying a few years later of cancer around the time Chapters of Repugnance, shortly after Chapters of Repugnance was released. He did not actually play in that album, but his son has kept the band alive, and this album, Disposal of the Dead, slash Armada, it's 2 EPs compiled to make it full length. In the past, they played brutal death metal, influenced by groups like Suffocation, and that's what Disposal of the Dead is. But with Armada, the group sees the group taking a more melodic and progressive and technical direction, influenced by bands like mid-period Death, and has more technical musicianship, and they didn't really do a whole lot of soloing on their other albums, and but Armada has all the full-length tracks having very solid lead guitar work, and both parts of the album, the Disposal of the Dead section and Armada, are both very good stuff. Defeated Sanity is one of the best death metal bands to come along in the 21st century. Well, I know they formed in the 1990s, but they didn't release the first proper full-length album until 2004, so you kind of get what I'm getting at. A very, very good band. Definitely worth checking out if you like death metal. This is a band called Nocturne, and they're another one of those one-and-done kind of bands. They are a death metal thrash metal band with bit more death metal thrash metal hybrid band with a little bit more a dark atmosphere to them. This is their only album, Strange Dimensions. It was released in 1991, and then went out of print for many, many years, and they and the album got reissued in a limited edition pressing of 1,000 copies earlier this year. Most of it is rather epic, as most of the songs here are over 6 minutes in length, with 2 of them being over 8 minutes in length. Anyways, it would have been interesting to see what direction they would have taken. Probably would have gone in a more death metal direction, since thrash kind of started dying off for a while in the 1990s. But anyways, that's another one of the albums that I got. And also, this is a band called Silent Scream, and this is their another band who only released one album, and it was reissued earlier this year after being out of print for many years. Named after a Slayer song, the band is known for their ties of Dark Angel. Guitar player Chris McCarthy actually played some live gigs for Dark Angel on a tour for Time Does Not Heal. And Gene Hoglan even wrote a song on the album called Feeder of the Depraved. As bonus tracks, they included their 1989 demo, The Last Rites, as bonus tracks for the reissue. Silent Scream ended up disbanding shortly after this album. While I said they're named after a Slayer song, and they have connections of Dark Angel, and there are indeed comparisons to those two bands that can be made, but they tend to be more mid-paced than those two bands are, and also have a death metal influence to them as well, and the album has a very, very heavy guitar tone to it, and overall pretty good stuff. Definitely give them a listen if you haven't yet. Anyways, those were some of the albums that I actually got this recently, or they arrived in the mail this week, and so just. But anyway, just thought I'd show you some of the new albums that I got. This is Required Field signing off, and hope you had a good summer, and hope you enjoyed the rest of the year as well. And goodbye.